Hello, I'm Dave Walters from DW Windows, and I'm popping on, make a little video just to try and explain in layman's terms what the fence regulations are all about. So fence regs, what is it? It came about in April 2002, and it's designed to ensure that double glazing companies like ourselves at DW Windows are installing windows in accordance with the current building regulations. What that means to you as a potential customer or homeowner is that if we fit your installation, we'll register the job with Fencer. We're approved and vetted to be competent to make sure that the job's done correctly and safely, using the proper materials, etc. Then Fencer will either send you a certificate, which you need to keep, because it's part of your seller's pack if you ever move in house, or they'll come out and inspect the job once it's been finished and fitted by us, or they'll come and inspect the job during the installation. But and all of that happens within 30 days. But you do need to keep your Fencer certificate, a vital bit of information when you're selling the house, to prove that the windows have been done correctly by a competent firm. Today I'm going to be talking about Document L, which is the conservation of fuel and power. So Document L. Some of the documents are a bit of a grey woolly area. Some documents are set up that as long as we're not making the situation any worse, then it's okay to replace like for like. Document L, conservation of power, it's a compulsory. There's no grey area. We have got to conform to Document L in every installation. Like I say, the conservation or the saving of fuel and power. All replacement windows should have a window energy rating, WER, of C rated. People call it C rated, energy efficient, or a U value of 1.6 or below. What's a U value? A U value is a measure of thermal transmittance if you read it in the building regs, but what that actually means is how much heat you can lose through a pane of glass in our case. The higher the number, the worse it is. The lower the number, the better, the less energy or heat is being lost through that pane of glass, therefore the better energy efficiency you'll get. So if you're losing up to 1.6 kilowatts per square metre, that's C rated. And then the ratings go from A rated, which is the best, up to G rated, which is old-fashioned single glazing basically, and it's kind of not legal now to fit that. It has to be C rated or better. That applies to all windows. It applies to some doors, and it only applies to the doors where the glass area in a door is greater than 50% of the actual area of the doorway opening. Side panels and top lights next to or above doors need to be registered as separate windows, but if there's less than 50% glass, or it's a solid door for instance, then we don't need to register that particular item with Fencer because they're not interested. How do DW Windows achieve the energy rating? Well, we do A rated, actually A plus as standard, so it's much better than the C rated that's expected from building regs. We achieve this by a combination of the frame. We use a 6-chamber or 6 layers of UPVC. Best way to explain that, got a cross section here. It's like when you go out in the cold. I'll try and explain to customers, the more layers you put on, the better, the warmer you feel. Each layer reduces the heat lost. So our systems are either 6 chambers or 6 layers of UPVC, depending on what size and style of profile it is. And what that happens there, you've got 2 chambers to the outside, 2 chambers to the inside. So the outside will have colder air, inside will have warmer air, and the chambers in between are the 2 chambers where all the magic happens, and the heat shouldn't transmit through those through the 2 central chambers. So we use 28mm double glazed units. So we got one there, a cross section. So that's a 28mm double glazed unit. You've got 2 4mm pieces of glass, and in between that you've got a 20mm gap. We fill that gap with argon gas, which is an invisible insulating gas that stops heat escaping through the glass itself. We use a thermally coated, we actually use a soft thermal coating to the inner pane of glass. What that does, that traps the heat in your property. It allows heat and light to transfer in, but it stops it from escaping again. The coating is invisible. The soft coating is a lot less visible than the old-fashioned hard coating, or the standard K glass is a hard coating. And the problem there is you can see a bit of mist and you can actually see that coating. So we use the newer soft coat, which is a lot less visible and better in all areas. And we also use a warm edge spacer bar. So that's the actual bar that creates the gap in between the glass, creates the space in between the glass. C-rated, they use an aluminium bar. We use a warm edge, thermally efficient spacer bar to stop heat escaping around the edge of the glass mainly. If you look on windows, that's where you normally get condensation around on the inside, is around the edge, because the metal spacer, aluminium spacer, is a conductor, and heat and cold can be transferred and lost through that. Done a little bit of an artist impression there. So that's looking at the double glazed unit from that way on. You've got your two 4mm pieces of glass there in green. You've got the invisible argon gas in between. You've got the warm edge spacer bar, and then around the edge we use a sealant to seal the glass. We actually triple seal the glass units. And the way that all works is, this is the outside, that's the inside of your house. Light and heat will pass through the glass, through the coating and into your property, warming up your property. But heat from inside your property, from your heating, etc., will hit the thermal coating and it gets reflected back into your house. So therefore, you're getting heat and light coming in, but you're not losing any, or not losing as much as you would through a standard double glazed unit. So that kind of summarises that. Just remember that our windows are an energy efficiency of A plus 13 actually, or it's just classified as A plus now, and we use that as standard. So if you want any more information or even a quote, give us a call on 0800 999 0909, which is the free phone number, or you can check us out on the website on the internet, which is www.dwwindows.co.uk. Thanks for listening. Hope that makes a little bit of sense, and I'll be back soon with some more information. Thank you. Goodbye.